shadows on the wall inside my head, inside of me. Holding all these thoughts beneath my skin. Can you believe in all? Only on my only love, only love. Time is a constant reminder.
Well, my darlings, we're on the entryway to the gravel of bitumen unsealed section towards the Jim and Twin Falls right now. I'm very excited, super duper, like, oh, it's just gonna be like so cool. Unfortunately, outside there, I saw a sign that the Twin Falls are shut at the moment, which is frustrating, but the Jim Falls are open, so I'll flip you around, have a quick look, show you around, and then we're gonna get going on the road. So as you can see here, Cockatoo Highway 40k, so we kind of came from here, and you kind of go, there's a camping ground that is actually locked from 8:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. so obviously you need to be out before 8:30 through that gate, but you usually would, because sunset at the moment is at 6:30 p.m. There's a pretty cool lookout, Jim Falls, another bushwalk, Twin Falls. Oh, it'd be epic to do this, but oh well. And this is, by the way, the blue one is the emergency button. That's a sign for waterfall, bathrooms obviously, and a lookout. There's a walk that you can do in Jim Falls, plunge pool walk, 3.2k. Apparently it's 3 hours because it's more or less difficult. Jim Falls beach pool, again 3k, 1.5. Well, my darlings, we have just arrived to the parking area of the Jim Falls, and seriously, it's the road to here. There were sections that were a little bit paved when there were big dips into the through the road. If there's a dip, there is area that's prone to flooding. They covered it with bitumen. The majority of the way was more or less straight gravel, a bit bumpy, but if you have a big nice car, when we go outside I'll show you sort of cars that are around here, you get a reasonable suspension, and you feel pretty balanced and comfy in a car. But the last section was seriously like that, like up and down. I was constantly getting warnings from the car that there's obstacle in front of me, basically because these little humps were like that. There was nothing in front of me, just the ground. There are a few areas that were a bit flooded, so you have to be careful. And right now we are in the dry season, so you need to be really mindful in the wet season, or wherever you are, if it has been raining or whatever, that there are sections. So I would definitely think you definitely need a four-wheel drive to get here safely and feel comfortable with the gear. Alright, let's go check out these falls. So another thing, when you follow in Google to figure out the way to get here, you get 3 hours ETA one way, but I left the previous spot at 10:30 and it's just before 12 now. Well, I suppose, no, 10:30, yeah, 10:30, 10:20, and it's just before 12, so it's under 2 hours actually. Not quite that long. I suppose return is a bit longer. Do you see, these are the sort of vehicles that come this way. Off-road, Mission Patrols, some Land Rovers and Toyota Cruisers. Vehicles that go high up. How epic does this look, hey? So epic. It's a warning in the entry that saltwater crocodiles are known to come to enter this area. They're very aggressive and can definitely get an injury or death. And the freshwater crocodiles, the bottom one, inhabit this area, so they'll live here. They can become aggressive and cause injury if disturbed, so do not approach and play with them. I have heard of a saltwater crocodile biting someone I work with, biting their finger and injuring. It's basically, there you go. This is the car park, that's where it's at, and there's just a bit of a walk here. There's also an emergency phone if one needs it here. Hey team, so I'm just making my way through to Jim Jim Falls, and I want to show you the little route that you would need to take on the way there. There are these like huge boulders. There is a signage, which is cool. There are these big boulders you're just climbing on top of to get to the falls. Check out these rocks, guys. Loads and loads and loads of layers. And yeah, basically this is the walking track.
Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do
Beautiful.
Yeah, probably should. I help.
Only half. Guess the gold comes back to you.
I'm going to swim to Aaron and then take a photo of me. Do you know what he's going to do? He's going to do a Jared twist. Jared does this. I know he's going to do it. And then puts Rudy's back. Jared does it. Alright, off you go.
I can see the bottom here.
This is like our tutorial, Jared. This is exactly how we work. Come to me, you're like, just climb up this bit. I'm like, no, I can't do it. That's climb up. Nah, that's
Hey Tay, do you reckon you can do some good rock like
the beach that you were just on. Okay, Gareth, no more now. Murray, no more. I don't know. I mean, okay, well, no more. You've had fair time, yeah.
So to get to the Jim Jim Falls, which is like that place there on the other side, by the way, it's echoey, so everyone's yelling out different things, and it's pretty cool. You need to, once you packed your car and sort of walked, hike, more or less walked, sort of like hiking through the bush, you have two ways. I'll flip you around and have a look and show you. You can come through the boulders here, right? Boulders, boulders, boulders. Or you can come to that beach and you can swim through. You can like sort of, there's like another mini beach there and then another mini beach there. So you kind of swim, walk, swim, walk. So you can go a couple ways. And here there are those little arrows that you see. You see on how to find the way. And another thing you can do is also look at the worn out rocks. So it's this, like something like this. That's the worn out area, right, where people have kind of walked around. See that bit? People walking on it. This, it's like you can clearly see, yeah, people kind of walk across here. So you can see footsteps. Hand would touch this bit, hands would be touching these bits. The rest is tidy and clean. Similarly here, someone would be walking here and everything is perfectly fine. Just like same as here. And where I'm standing, it's all right on through to the falls. So it's unlikely that you get lost if you're paying attention to where you're going.
Try to hold the breath you've taken at last. It's getting cold, getting cold, getting cold, getting cold. You're seething in my chest. You give me no rest. It's getting old, getting old, getting old, getting old. Used to fly higher and higher. These days I'm just going down, down. Whatever you do, every time I fall for you, if only I knew. Anyway, I fall for you, whatever you do. Every single time I fall for you, whatever you do. Every time I fall for you.
Back at the car. Apparently temperature outside is plus 38 today. Oh my gosh, plus 40. It is really warm. So the drive here is not as long as they say it is, but probably if you were driving a car that wasn't as, you know, savvy, four-wheel drive savvy, or you're a bit more slow in driving, then yeah, it would take you longer. But I found that it took me, although I was sort of third way in, it takes about a couple of hours, I'd say, to get here from Jabiru. The actual walk though, the walk to the waterfall, it's at least 2 hours trip return. What is the time now? I'll check. It's 2:30. I got here at midday, at just before 12. Was at this car park, and then I walked, and now I'm back. So it's 2.5 hours basically walking and checking it out. It's really cool, but you gotta watch your step, and you gotta budget in a little bit more time if you want to go swimming, which there are plenty of places to go for a swim and take many photos. But yes, budget that into your day. Very cool place to visit. Epic cliffs and baby termite mounds. See the little baby ones before they get big. All of them, all over the place. So now we're going towards a place called Ubirr, U-B-I-R-R. Here in the Northern Territory. It's about 30-40k north from Jabiru, and there is also a boat ramp that you can take on. Have a look at this. So on the entry point there is just some rules from the police on how to check things, some navigation rules, and how to be safe. There's also a cafe here that you can just stock up on some stuff before you go into the park. Ton of natural walks as well in the area, so definitely come and check it out, and I'm excited to do it with you. Now note that Ubirr gates actually close after sunset, just to let everyone get out, and over here 7 p.m. so make sure you're out by 7, otherwise they'll lock you in here. Let's go find these outside and cool rocks. Check this out. Love these cliffs. Like, you know, you can park. You have this insanely epic cliffs. It's the drop. It's a backdrop. So when you get to Ubirr, a place called Ubirr Ekekuru National Park. Again, let's have a look. We have a car park, there's a park, there's a 1K circuit, and you can check out some art, Aboriginal art, and there's also a really epic lookout. And they do some free talks as well through the week. Pretty cool. No alcohol? Sign. The place that I have decided to see the sunset from is Nadab Lookout at Ubirr Park. And this place is also filled with the most beautiful Aborigines artworks all through the walls on this walk. There's also a few different gradients on this walk, so it varies from easy to medium to slightly harder. And on the easy, there is a very easy wheelchair path as well. So if you wanted to, or if you needed to, you could even just explore it from the lower ground. So this place is called Unwritten Library, and during your walk, you can learn about Aboriginal people and just some of the old legends. And that's a really great thing about all of these places, is that they have these little tabloids at the bottom, and you can read some legends and maybe some lessons or a presentation of the food that they ate or hunted for, or the stories that. So something you might have seen, one of the first artworks I walked through, and you would walk through, is called Lessons in the Good Behavior. And in all honesty, some of these stories you read and they seem very brutal to me. But this particular one is a painting basically about Maubu man called that, and he was dragging his catch on a string after a fishing expedition when a greedy person cut the strings and stole his fish. That night, Maubu waited until the thieves had eaten his fish and were camped inside their cave near the East Alligator River. Then he blocked the cave with a huge rock. The next morning, they never came out because they pinched something that didn't belong to them, and they got punished. So these are basically the lessons that these drawings on the wall tell people. So there's a really huge wall of different illustration right now. Is basically a menu, and if a hunter was particularly proud of the size or condition of his catch, it would sometimes be painted on the shelter walls. So the paintings were more than visual record of the catch. They represented the spirit of the animal and would help in the future hunts. There are some paintings that are completed if you look around, so there will be different rocks and cliff sides that would have paintings on that seem very, very high. And Aboriginal people believe in Mimi spirits, and they talk about Mimi spirits doing those paintings that are located in very, you can say, dangerous or unusual places on rocks. And they also believe that the Mimi spirits are invisible to most people, and they actually taught Aboriginal people to paint many of their traditional designs. In areas of North Australia where art continues as a part of traditional lifestyle, a young artist learns his clan designs from his close male relatives. Gradually, as his cultural knowledge and his experience grows, he earns the right to be told more detailed information about the art. By learning traditional designs, he and other people looking at the art become more familiar with the land.
I wanna be, nothing blocks me, I'm free. We're gonna beat my enemies. As a warrior or a mage, in every era, every age, keeping dragons in the cage. As a king or as a knight, I will reign, I will fight until I shine in the light. Why should I stay? Please take me away from the light. I don't belong. With might and with force, I'm winning the war. No fears, here is where I'm truly strong. Why should I stay? Why should I stay? Please take me away. Why should I stay? Please take me away. I got trapped in your eyes the moment you looked at me. From across the room, those eyes kept following me. Something popped in my brain. Now, baby, only you I see. Feels like I'm going insane, and only you can save me. Feels like I'm drowning in ocean's blue. Baby, come on, baby, baby, come on, let's go. I'm losing control over lights in the space. Keep jumping around, all I see is your face. But you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder shoots me into space, and I can't deny how badly I need you now. 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 You take away my breath now, boy. Don't you dare steal my heart now, boy. I know you're something